Hello everybody, welcome back to yet another video on the YouTube channel. I am Chris, or Crispy Chris, and today we're going to be covering a crazy game. Be sure though, and let me mention, that you should follow my Twitch and subscribe here on this channel. I'm going to be posting a lot of stuff this summer, so please stay tuned. Let's cover Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm going to save a lot of the explanation for another video that I will be doing later on. It'll be on Horizon Zero Dawn and the story of Horizon Zero Dawn. For many, honestly, this is a story to know, but today we are going to be covering something that maybe most people might not have noticed when playing. So to explain what this video is about, cauldrons are basically a way for Aloy to override the different machines that she faces. It's not always about combating them, and actually cauldrons will allow you to use some of these machines as allies. There are different cauldrons spread all around the world, and even when I started playing, I was confused what cauldrons were until I figured out what they were by looking into even the map in this game. Finding cauldrons all spread out around the world is pretty much a great idea, and it will help you get through this game a lot easier with different creative ways. So let's start diving into where these cauldrons are and how to get through them right now. Let's dive into it. When starting these cauldron missions, you want to take first note how well you are equipped and what your level is. Depending on the level, you might not even be able to complete the cauldron mission unless you're experienced at this game. We'll start with Cauldron Sigma, which is crowded with watchers. Fight them however you wish, stealth, or all-out combat. I recommend equipping yourself with decent weapons and stocking up on enough healing items. Once you're done with that, you'll want to override the door and open it. Once inside, you'll want to navigate through the cauldron and its many different challenges. If you think you're done fighting machines inside, you'll find more machines. Be prepared to enter in any situation. Accept the quest once you receive it, and do take note of its level. Press on in and enter through the cauldron by rappelling down to get into the tunnels. Then once inside the tunnels, you'll find your way through. Explore the cauldron and navigate through the different tunnels with many different types of enemies. Some enemies will be in there, such as watchers and others. Vents are also in there to provide cover, but in my opinion they weren't really much cover, and there was not enough vents to use for cover. So I experimented with them and found out they just make a mist. Still, all-out combat can be acceptable, and you can enter in the cauldron as loud as you want or as quiet as you wish.
The machine saw me.
There will be different types of override points that you'll need to override to progress deeper into the cauldrons. Overriding these will let you progress deeper into the cauldrons. Be sure to keep a lookout, as this might be the way to progress deeper into the cauldron that you're in. Different supply crates will be in there. Take advantage of this and collect as much as you can, along with different medicinal herbs. These medicinal herbs will be inside the cauldron. Think about grabbing them because you might encounter heavy combat situations and need healing. Now you'll find this conveyor line, and you'll want to grab onto these. Progress deeper into it and hold on to these until you reach the end of the ride. Like a roller coaster, basically. Once you get deeper into the cauldron, there will be several other enemies. Inside here, I encountered shell walkers and watchers. Once again, shell walkers are mundane enemies, but not very formidable, and they're not very aggressive. But still, be sure to be prepared and equipped for the fight, as sometimes you might be easily overwhelmed by enemies you've never faced the most. Once you find the zip line, you'll be very close to your objective. Zip on down and come into this area, and you'll be right outside the door of the cauldron's core. Inside every cauldron core, there will be a certain encounter or boss related to the different machines you'll be able to override. They'll range from different difficulties, from basic machines to very high difficulty machines. Make sure you're well equipped and know the different type of machine you'll be fighting. Rappel on down and begin the combat encounter by finding that there will be two watchers. We'll be fighting a fire bellowback in Cauldron Sigma. Make sure you find these pillars that I'm about to zoom into, as where you will go and climb up. You'll find these override points to initiate the fight and free the beast and free the force field that covers the core. Once you do this, be prepared for a fight. You'll want to be equipped with as much healing items just in case. In this cauldron afterwards, and once you release that force field, two more watchers will follow, and you'll begin the fight with the fire bellowback. Once you're done, approach the center of the room where the core lies, and override the core and learn how to override new different creatures. These new machines can aid you, but mostly the first cauldron you'll learn is the only one you can use to mount the creatures. You'll only be able to use these creatures as to override them as allies in your fight. Next, we're going to be covering Cauldron Zeta, which is a higher tier cauldron, and there is reasons. I'm going to not be going in order by level or by tier of machines you can override. I'm mostly going by order of encounter when I encounter these. This cauldron is going to be guarded by stalkers, and if you see right up at the top over there, there is a watcher on a cliff. Now if you notice this cauldron right here, the door is guarded by a force field. As I point out this watcher right there, please do take note of that. Approach this cauldron however you want, but mostly you'll have to find a different way into the cauldron. This cauldron is going to be guarded by stalkers that can camouflage themselves, and you cannot mark them with your focus, even if you see their camouflage. Choose this encounter however you want, stealthily or all-out combat, and find this watcher on this cliff and fight it and press on into the cauldron, as this is the alternate entryway into the cauldron. Dive into the cauldron and begin exploring through, and open the door, override the door, and go through the cauldron exploration just like last time. And this time we're going to be fighting a Thunderjaw, which is a level 27. Keep in mind the Thunderjaw is a very, very formidable foe and is very, very, very dangerous. Hitting off its weak points is crucial, and maybe taking off its tail, as that attack was very hard for me to dodge. Different components can be taken off in this fight, as I encourage you to tear off as much. But another attack will deal a lot of damage, which is these laser explosions. If you are not on a high enough level, you will suffer from this enemy. It took me about 2 tries just to fight this Thunderjaw, and it was really hard, even if I fought it once. So take out this enemy however you want to, with whatever equipment you wish. Just be prepared to fight this. It is a very hard foe. Once you have fought and defeated the Thunderjaw, once again, approach the center and learn the overrides. And that's it. You've completed Zeta.
There we go. Information to help me override more machines.
Next, we're going into Cauldron Rio, which is a basic cauldron, not too harder than Zeta. This will be guarded by a couple watchers. I recommend it if you have a certain skill called Strike from Above, that you make your way into this position on this rock and let all the watchers come to you. If you have the ability Strike from Above, let them come over to you and hop back onto this rock. This will allow you to instantly kill them if your equipment is good enough and you have a high enough level, allowing for an instant kill and easy fight. Once you dive deeper, you'll find many other enemies, and a Ravager will fight you in a very, very tight space. Be prepared and stay on your toes, because this fight is hard in a very close space. So be prepared and get as much healing items as possible. If you are prepared and skilled enough, then this will be no issue. However you want to take this combat encounter, stealth or all-out attack is your choice. We'll be fighting a level 20 Snap Maw in this, and there will be watchers, like as always, guarding the force field. So take them out and climb the pillar. And in this time, you'll be fighting the Snap Maw, which is a very formidable foe. If you're at the right level, though, this will be easy with the right equipment. You'll be able to take this out. But the twist is a Ravager will join in. So taking out the Ravager, in my opinion, and then going on the Snap Maw is way better than going after both of them at once. However you want to approach this is your option. Once you finish this fight, you'll be able to learn the new override, and you'll be done with this cauldron, which leads us to our last cauldron.
That's it. More machines I can override.
This cauldron will be very far out, very, very far out, so make sure you're able to use a fast travel pack.
What are they doing here?
When you arrive on scene to the cauldron, you'll find that the eclipse has already taken over the cauldron and made it into an excavation site. Numerous human enemies will be there. Make sure you start by defeating them, and make sure to grab the different health and supply crates. As always, material gathering is pretty useful and pretty much a good idea. You never know what you might find. Diving in deeper into this cauldron, you'll find a lot more enemies. You'll find a lot more enemies, so take this encounter however you want. I picked stealth for the most of it until I got spotted. But if you're careful enough, stealth is still a good option for you.
She's here!
Let's see what they're so afraid of. that's it.
Defend the core for 2 minutes by outlasting all the enemies, and then progress out of the core. A new objective to leave the cauldron will appear after 2 minutes of fighting. Just leave the cauldron and make your way out. Stalkers will be your main threat, as well as still the human onslaught of the Shadow Carja, or the Eclipse. Make your way out of the cauldron and find your way through. At this segment, you're going to have to fight through the stalkers in order to open this door, and then you'll be able to get back out to the main area, which then you can either approach by stealth or by all-out combat. Either way, make your way to the pillar to climb out and exit out of this main area, and you have completed all the cauldrons. Follow the path that I take and you'll be able to exit out of the cauldron. Take this pillar up here and climb up it. And then grab onto these grab holds. And then make your way out through the passage. There'll be a handful of enemies, but you can skip through them. No big deal.
Here we are.
And once you make your way through this passage and up here, up past here, once you get through these 2 enemies, you'll be in the clear. That is until you face the onslaught outside of the cauldron after you've entered in. But after you exit this cauldron, you have completed all the cauldrons.